So let's talk about it. So building a portfolio that can take a hit. So markets don't always move in our favor, of course, when volatility hits. The goal isn't to avoid risk completely, and you really can't, as we just kind of went through there, but to make sure our portfolio can withstand it. You want to keep the doors open, as my dad would say. And one of the ways we do that is just via diversification. So very basically, diversification is just spreading your investments across different asset classes, sectors, and markets. We do this via options, of course, strategies, having some long delta in some stocks, short delta in others, neutral in some where they have more dynamic delta. You use futures, you get into different products like oil and natural gas and silver and gold. I mean, there's many ways that you can do this to get a little bit of diversification. When we talk about stocks themselves, though, so different stocks come with different levels of volatility, which essentially means the degree of the variation in the stock's trading price over a certain period. And we're on the next slide here. Mm-hmm. So when we look at different stocks, there's different levels of volatility. When you look at a Tesla and Nvidia, you should expect much greater price movements in both directions in stocks like those. When you get into your TLT, we have gold here, which has changed significantly in the recent time, but historically, 16-17% implied volatility has been kind of the norm. Sure. Those products don't move as much, and so with more volatility, there's going to be wider P&L in both directions, and so to diversify, you want to be spread across different volatilities as well. That's a diversification piece, right? Being in lower and higher volatility underlyings with different positions is going to further that diversification as well. When we talk about volatility and correlations, volatility clustering is something we mentioned. We just talked about into like a big move like COVID. When you have these big moves like a COVID or Tesla when it rallied in 2021, where it had remember it did 2 or 3 splits in the period of 6 months.
It seemed like it was doing it every other expiration cycle.
It went from a $50 billion company to $1 trillion company in a very quick period of time. Yeah, Nvidia was kind of in the same class there. But when you have these big volatility events, everything kind of moves together. Like in COVID, tariff tantrums, everything's kind of going down in the same way. The situations with Tesla and Nvidia are more binary to that stock, so you have that sort of risk when you're only trading in stock positions. When you get into stuff like gold and TLT, those have binary aspects to them, safe haven, flight to quality type things. And then there's, of course, mean reversion in terms of everything kind of when volatility gets really high, it comes back lower. When it gets really low, it kind of tends to percolate higher. These are all things that kind of go into your trading here.
And so, again, I'm getting questions about my volatility speech that I was talking about then. It's damn near impossible to buy volatility for a move lower. You can do a cover.
You have to do a day of.
You have to do a day of the move. That's right.
Or week
you can do
of
a covered
the move.
call type thing on volatility.
You can't do covered calls on volatility because you're the whole point.
You can do /VX versus VIX options, which first of all, you don't get relief on it. It's capital intensive, and it doesn't. Without a move higher, it doesn't pay to keep on. There's too much drag on the VIX future. It's impossible. And your point,
you miss out on the time where you need it.
That is correct.
When you're doing the cover,
you got to pick a team as well.
So you got to pick a side,
yep.
and the only way to do it, being long volatility, is short duration. You got to just kind of be all right, we're going down this week.
That's correct.
And you're long volatility, or you buy calls in VIX, or you buy calls in UVXY for the week. That's how you got it. There, you cannot. You can't say in the next year we're going to go down 20%,
nope.
and I'm going to hedge right now.
Right.
You can't do it.
Nope.
You're screwed unless it happens in the next month.
Correct.
So talking about just kind of their risk profiles on these stocks. So even before investing in individual stocks, their average price risk profile from 2020 to 2026 looks like this. So we took the daily standard deviation of price, and obviously you have, with higher volatility, you're going to have bigger moves in both directions. This just comes with the territory. SPY has had some huge moves here, but something like Tesla is much more volatile. Building on kind of the portfolio on this next slide here, so looking at like Nvidia and Tesla and just putting capital into those stocks obviously has been a good trade. So getting on to the next slide here, guys. So you're obviously going to, this, nobody complains if they didn't diversify and just bought 100,000 worth of Nvidia or Tesla over the last 6 years. That would have been better than diversifying, as the numbers show.
You always see the advertisement, this is Nvidia at 16 cents. You show me that stock and I'll be happy to do this too. And we can just all go to sleep.
Yes. But with more volatility comes bigger, wider ranges of P&L. And so on this next slide here, just kind of diversifying between these assets, right? So by using a diversified portfolio where the investments are spread out, and we're on the next slide here, guys. Yes. So the point being that when you have a diversified portfolio, you're going to have a much tighter distribution over that period of time. So, from a P&L standpoint, you have about a 73% less volatile P&L diversifying across those assets versus just being in one stock. Obviously, if you caught the move in Tesla from the 2020 low when it was going bankrupt, you remember when it was like the whole thing, it was going bankrupt to, a $1 trillion company, that would have been the best thing to do. But if you're looking at it now and you're saying, how do I kind of start a portfolio here and diversify across assets? This is the reason why you do that. You do it because you have tighter risk in both directions. You have lesser big moves to the upside, lesser big moves to the downside, and it's about 73% tighter range of P&L. Even when you're, not as diversified, it cuts if you are diversifying against more assets, it's going to cut it by about 24%. So it's a big change here.
Yes. Too big.
So a diversified portfolio can help protect your portfolio against market volatility. It can provide opportunities for growth. Obviously, you want to have those high volatility assets in your portfolio because those are the ones that are going to provide you those outsized moves. But you don't want it to be the whole pie. The whole pie shouldn't be in super volatile stuff. You want to have a little mix of everything. And of course, diversification, it can be a short-term tactic. It can be a long-term tactic. I think for those people, going back to like our confirm and send question about can you just do one thing? I think this kind of shows you that you want a little bit of everything.
You do, and it's almost easier to look at this from the flip side, since volatility is mean reverting. Selling volatility when it goes higher is a lot easier to make money than buying volatility to anticipate the up move.
For sure.
Which would be the down move in the market.
Thanks for watching. If you want more context and more ways to think about markets, check out more of our videos. And don't forget, give us a like, comment, subscribe, and watch Tasty Live.